after you find a 6-star book, that always leaves you in this spot where you're going, what now? What's next? What do I do? So I did like any other good reader would do. I hopped onto Google and I searched books similar to The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. And as I was scrolling, I started to notice a theme. And that brings us to today's video, where I will be reading all of Annabel Monaghan's books. And by all, I mean the 3 that I know of, which I think are the 3 that she has written in the past like 3 years. So, first up on that list is Nora Goes Off Script. I don't know anything about these books. When it comes to books, it really depends on if I want to know a lot about it, but I feel like sometimes, especially if the book is recommended to me based off another read that I have, I like to just kind of go in blind and just see what it is. So I'm very excited to hop into these books, and I'm really hoping that I find my next 5-star read. So stay tuned to see if that happens. Back. It's a little bit later and I am now on page 93, which is 34% through this book, and so far I'm having some mixed feelings about it. There's just some things that are throwing me off, and I think it's because we kind of moved very quickly through sort of some initial parts of the story that felt strange to me. I don't know. So basically what's going on in this book is our main character Nora, she's a writer and she writes screenplays for movies. And her husband has recently left her, and she ends up writing this screenplay about the story of her husband leaving her, and it gets picked up to become a movie. The story starts out with like the people are coming to film the movie at her house. So essentially what happens is the guy who is cast to play her former husband, he ends up wanting to like stay at her place for some reason, and that's the part that's like throwing me off, because it just feels a little strange and kind of chaotic. I don't know, I just feel like she has children and it just seems a little like, is this safe? You can hear my cat in the background. It is what it is. I don't know, like he didn't say he was gonna stay, and then she just basically woke up and was like, there's a man on my porch. Like, I know you're an actor, but like she doesn't know you. Like you're a stranger, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just a little bit like, why is this okay? And then he's like taking stuff from her fridge and kitchen without asking. And then she's just brushing past it like it's no big deal. I'm like, no, this like isn't okay. But she's just going along with everything. Not just going along with everything, they're just not addressing the fact that he's doing that stuff. And I'm like, this feels like a problem. So that's like the part that I'm having a hard time getting past. I'm feeling hopeful about the book because I do like the main character. The writing I am enjoying so far. And I feel like I'm starting to see hints of like where the story is going as far as like the guy. Like you're getting hints of like maybe some more personality or like some depth in some of his story, which I'm hoping, because right now I feel like at the beginning he just felt like a very flat character, and so I'm like, how is she supposed to fall in love with him is basically what I'm trying to say. I am curious as to where the story is going because I am not sure, but I'm feeling hopeful because I've seen hints of some good things. So far I'm a little on the fence. I just don't quite know. I'm having a hard time getting past a few things, but I think now that we're more maybe getting into the bulk of like the story, it might make more sense to me, but we'll see. Anyway, those are my thoughts so far. I will keep reading and keep you updated. I ended up finishing Nora Goes Off Script the other day, and it was fine. I ended up giving it a 3 stars. It wasn't a bad book by any means. It just wasn't necessarily my favorite. I felt like the romance was very disjointed. I don't know. The writing just didn't flow very well in my opinion, and I just didn't connect with the characters very much, and so I had a hard time like rooting for them. I mean, I wanted them to be together, but I just like didn't care that much, I guess, if that makes sense. So overall, it wasn't my favorite. That's probably why I haven't like talked about it a ton. I was a little bit nervous going into this next one because the writing just really didn't impress me in Nora Goes Off Script. So I was like, oh no, if the writing is the same in all of these books, I'm not gonna like them. So, but I went ahead and started Same Time Next Summer, and I'm already on page 94, and I'm 32% in. So far, I'm liking this one so much better. I feel like I'm connecting with the characters more. The story feels more wholesome, I guess, and more believable. I don't know, I'm just enjoying the characters a lot more. And the writing, I feel like, is so much different in this one than the first one, and I don't know how to explain it. It just feels less choppy and disjointed. It just feels like it flows better, and I'm just kind of into the story more. The tone is better. I like the setting. Overall, I'm loving this one a lot more than the other one. I'm very hopeful that this could at least be like a 4 stars, if not a 5, but we'll see. So this book is about our main character, Sam, who is currently engaged to Jack, and she ends up taking him back to the beach house that she kind of grew up going to in the summers, and you kind of learn that the boy that broke her heart when she was 16 is also going to be there for the summer. You can probably guess where the story is going to end up going, but the story kind of jumps back and forth through time. So we get some of like Wyatt's perspective, which is the boy who broke her heart, from like that time when they were like 16, and like her perspective when they were like 16, and also like her perspective now. So I kind of like that aspect. It really like builds the characters for me when you kind of see them growing up together, and kind of learn like why they do what they do, like who they really are, and that's something that I really enjoy. So I think I'm gonna like this one a lot better than the first one that I read, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm hopeful that this one could be a 5 star. It's been a minute since I last updated you. I low-key feel like this video is sending me into a little bit of a book slump, but it's fine. I'll get through them. I think the last time I talked to you, I finished Nora Goes Off Script, and I had started Same Time Next Summer, so I don't think I gave any updates about my thoughts about Same Time Next Summer. I definitely liked that book better than Nora Goes Off Script. I connected to the characters better. I thought the story was more intriguing. I really loved the setting, but it still just wasn't anything that I was like overly impressed by. It was a good book. It was fine. I think I ended up rating it a 3.5 stars, which I thought about giving it a 4, but I don't know. I really haven't thought about it since. I'm having a hard time remembering the male main character, and that is just the truth. So this video is not quite turning out how I had hoped, but it's okay. I guess this is the entertainment for the video. And then I started Summer Romance. This one I feel like I'm liking a little bit better. I really like the guy. I feel like he's a guy character that I will really enjoy, and I'm again enjoying the setting and some of like the fun little things that the author has, like little quotes like champagne summer, or like little fun anecdotes and things like that. I'm enjoying. I don't really feel like I have a big opinion on kids in books, whether I think that's like good or bad or whatever. I think it really doesn't affect it a ton for me. Goosey. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't think that affects the story a ton for me. I'm interested to see kind of how the kids play a role in this book, because I didn't love the kids in Nora Goes Off Script. I thought they were a little bit, I don't know, they just didn't seem like kids to me, in the way they would like talk and act and like give input, I guess, to their mother. So yeah, that's where I'm at in this book. I am 19% in and on page 59. I really just haven't read it a ton. I feel like I'm just reading a little bit in the evenings, which is truthfully just because I think the last 2 books are just kind of putting me in a little bit of a slump. So I'm trying to power through this book so I can give you guys my rating and get this video up. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes books just aren't quite as good as you were hoping. I'm very hopeful about this one though. I think the characters are a lot more intriguing than the characters in the previous books that I've read by her, especially the male main character. So, and I feel like she's creating a lot of like intrigue and depth around like what his story potentially is that we'll hopefully find out, whereas I feel like that kind of lacked in the other 2 books. So I'm excited to see where this one goes, and hopefully I can muster up the motivation to finish it. I will, mainly because I have limited time because I checked it out. So I will give you updates soon. I have officially completed Summer Romance, which is the 3rd and final book I'll be reading in this video, and I am happy to say that I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving this one a 4.75 stars. The reason why it wasn't a 5-star for me is because it just didn't give me that 5-star feeling, and you know what it is and you can't explain it until you read that 5-star book and you just know. So this one's not quite a 5 stars, but 4.75 stars is a super high rating, and I am very pleased because I was getting nervous that I just wasn't gonna like any of the books in this video, and I was like, okay, well that makes for a really boring video. But this book, the premise of it is basically our main character Allie is in the process of going through a divorce with her husband, and in that process, kind of while that's happening, she ends up meeting a man named Ethan, and this ends up being her best friend's younger brother, but she just like totally didn't recognize him, and then ends up going on this date with him, and they connect, and it's just kind of their journey of like falling in love and also just seeing each other's lives and connecting over their like shared interests and their passions and things like that. And I just ended up loving it. The male main character was such an ideal male main character for me. I feel like sometimes they just are like either overly cheesy or they're just not likable, but he was charming, lovely, treated her so well. I just felt like he just made I just feel like he made the book so much more elevated with his story and who he is, and also like he complimented Allie, the main character, so well, and just it was so easy to read about them falling in love and kind of seeing that take place. The kids in this book, I feel like this was one of my favorite representations of like children in books, as far as like them being like not the main characters, I guess. I thought they were just sweet. They felt their age. I think the things they were going through and saying felt very age appropriate. I feel like sometimes in books and in movies, like the kids can end up being like saying all these like super profound things, and you're like, you're 5. You're not really gonna be saying that in real life. So I really enjoyed the way she portrayed her Allie's children in this book, and I thought they just like lifted up the story and made it a lot more like wholesome and full, and I really liked that. So I am happy to say that this one was a 4.75 stars, and I'm glad that I got to finish this video on a super high note. I would 100% recommend this book, especially if you maybe have read some of Annabel Monaghan's books in the past and they weren't your favorite. They were like 3 stars, 4 stars, good, but like nothing too special in your mind. Pick this one up. Don't sleep on this one because it's so good. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope to do more videos like this in the future. I love reading, I love trying new books, and I love getting other people's recommendations. And I love finding that next 5-star read. So while I didn't find it today, I got pretty close, and I'm very happy about that. Tune back in for more videos like this. I also enjoy making vlogs about just the things that are going on in my life and other things that I am passionate about and enjoy. So I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks for being here.